back, everybody.
Welcome back to our talk show, episode 59.
Just real quick, my friend James is watching. He runs the RC track out at Lake Okeechobee, the drag strip.
Yeah.
Man, them cars are. He's got the whole setup, man.
It's like one of these cars right here.
Yeah, but his are dragsters.
Right there.
You know, his are they're the inline cars. Well, he's got a bunch of different types. You know, he's got like his funny cars and stuff like that, and they go out and fucking race them things, man, as fast as possible.
That's a hobby.
Yeah, you should go.
Podcasting.
You should go check them out. They do test and tune out at Okeechobee every Sunday.
So
unless it's raining.
It's in Florida.
It is in Florida. It's out at Lake Okeechobee.
Oh, it rained all week.
Yeah. Well, I think they did get their test and tune in this week, so
Friday was a good day.
And then they do big championships and stuff like that. A lot of people actually enjoy doing it, and it's just like it's like a scale of a quarter mile.
Okay.
You know, it's just long enough for the little cars.
So you guys like RC cars?
Oh man, I love RC cars.
You guys can go check it out.
You know, but yeah, if you're into RC cars, make sure you go down to Okeechobee and check out the test and tune out there. And as he likes to say, stay fast, friends.
Stay fast, friends.
You know, some of them cars are nasty. One of the guys goes out there, he runs like 103 mile an hour on his car.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's like the third fastest in the state or something like that in the country.
State?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. But let's start our show.
Let's start our talk show. Question of the day. What is something that you would really hate to lose?
There's lots of things. That's why I don't go out there and race with them. I'd get my ass drug all day long. So I can't even fathom going.
What sport do you hate to lose? Like, what would you hate to lose? Something that you would hate to lose. Apparently RC racing.
Probably my wife. That's probably a good answer.
I was going to say my mind.
Oh, that's been gone years.
Out of all the things I lost, I miss my mind the most.
Yeah,
Ozzy Osbourne.
My mind's been gone a long time.
Ilani says my family.
That's a good answer. I can't answer that. They're already gone.
Brant.
Brant. Yeah, that guy's gone too, so, you know. Oh, sore subject.
Darkness, my old friend.
So, Halloween's this Saturday?
Yep.
And we wish everyone a safe Halloween.
Have a good time.
Right. If you don't know how to stay safe during your Halloween, watch Hubie Halloween on Netflix, and he will explain to never forget your thermos.
Fucking movie. There's no plot, just the thermos.
No, the whole movie was written around the thermos, so that was pretty fun.
Crazy thing can you give us?
Also, for our charities this month, this is our last
week.
Well, I was gonna start with the month because it's the last week of the month. So this is the last week for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Well, at least for us, right? Because there's not another Tuesday coming around.
No, just like I said, this Saturday is the 31st.
Right. So
next Tuesday would be Election Day.
Right. So everybody, remember Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now, obviously, you can donate all year round.
It's not just in October.
Right. It's not just in October, but we do tend to promote it more during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, obviously.
As you can see, we went pink all month.
Right, we did. That was our charity, our monthly charity for this month. Our weekly charity for this month is the Crisis Text Line, which when people need to talk to a crisis counselor. I like to call them consultants. Yeah, a crisis consultant, ASAP. The Crisis Text Line offers free 24/7 support. Anyone who texts in the number, which is 741 from anywhere in the U.S., will be connected to a trained crisis, consultant. Counselor.
Which is especially helpful resource for people struggling with anxiety and depression during COVID.
Right. We know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of mixed feelings, different
They also have a website, crisistextline.org.
Right. And those are
our charities.
Our charities, our weekly charity and our monthly charity.
And that's it. And crisis. When you're feeling anxiety and overwhelmed, you don't think you have someone to talk to.
Yep, that's crisistextline.org. And the number, which is 741-741. And breast cancer awareness. Can't never forget the breasts.
No, save the boobs.
That's it. Let's see. Moving on.
To viral news.
Oh, is it viral news and wife's? I always get those backwards. All right. So what do we got for viral news today, Josh?
Our first viral news: a Florida woman blames Wendy Day for blowing cocaine into her purse. They were searching her and they found marijuana and cocaine. She claimed the marijuana but blamed the win on the cocaine.
The marijuana is mine, friends, but the cocaine, it's
a Wendy Day.
It's like a Mary Poppins movie, right? It just floated down into my purse.
I wonder if it was this residue of cocaine or was it like a baggie, like a dub. How did that fly in there?
Did you ever hear about the lady and guy who got arrested for having meth on them?
Okay.
Right? The cops tested it. The test said it was meth. When the crime lab got it, they came back and said, "Sir, this is a bag of sugar."
What kind of fucking sugar was that?
Well, the thing is so even like the field tests,
I hear a lawsuit.
It's a chance that it will
negative or a false positive.
A false positive, you get false positive in anything.
Right, pregnancies.
Right, all the time you get false positives.
COVID.
So rather than test it again to be sure.
No, I got my two people right here.
That's right.
Two suburban people on the way to a bakery.
Right. Yeah. They got all this meth with them. We're just taking them to jail.
The case of the meth use in this town. It was suburbia.
It was suburban Karen.
They were
trying to go to the baker.
To a cooking class. I didn't believe that shit.
Might as well have just grabbed some coffee out of her cup and been like, "Oh, this has got meth in it."
There's a whole bunch of sugar in the back too. Like, we're about to open a coffee shop. You think I'm gonna believe that shit?
But officers are human too. They make mistakes. But again, I probably would have if it was like, "What's this?" It's a bag of sugar. Well, let me just test and find out, right?
It's brown though. Sugar's white.
I probably would have ran 2 tests, right, just to be sure. Yeah.
Cop's like, I'm never wrong.
No.
I busted several people with sugar.
All these motherfuckers had sugar and, it didn't look like this.
He told the crime lab, he's like, no, I put meth in there. I know meth was in there. I need my arrest record to go up.
I just poured some meth out of my personal stash into it.
On my fingertips.
They
tested his fingers and he got meth on
it. But it's crazy the type of,
unfortunate
things that
circumstances that happen.
Right. Like it's believable, right? The wind just blew the cocaine into my purse while you were searching it.
You're not going to believe it. Reminds me of that TikTok I saw, or that joke. And it's like the guy was saying, you have drugs in your pocket. He's like, no, every time I flush the toilet, it ends up in my pocket. And the guy's like, no way. He's like, watch, give me the thing. And he flushes it, and he's like, all right, it's your pockets. Where's the drugs? What drugs?
What drugs? Yeah.
So any cop that would fall for the wind blew the cocaine. Watch what it did, though. Like, you watching a movie with that, like, Final Destination shit, when it plays that music when something's about to happen, the cocaine just goes doo, 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 doo.
If you saw that there was cocaine in your purse, wouldn't you take it out? Like, hey, this isn't for me, friend.
Stop the wind. I'm like, no,
go away, cocaine, please.
Officer, no.
Please don't search my bag at this time.
You're not
cocaine
gonna believe this. It just blew
in.
From my nose. Fell right out.
All right, that's a Florida woman, and not even a Florida man.
It's a Florida woman.
But only Florida people would think of like an excuse like that.
Well, you saw they made that joke on Ted. He's like, "What, are we about to go do cocaine?" I thought only Florida people do that.
Right. Well, it's like, and the other thing is like Florida people have very vivid imaginations.
We do.
They just come up with anything out of anywhere.
Saying that the Florida drivers are the only ones that have to have a deposit on renting a car.
Oh, I was, yeah. I was.
Do they not watch our talk show? There's a Florida man every week.
Only Florida drivers have to deposit $300
to rent a car.
To rent a $50 car. The next problem is like. Oh, I lost my train of thought.
The next problem is.
No, so. Like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Speaking about vivid imaginations, I was messing with my cousin, right?
Okay.
Because he tells me one time, then shows up 30 minutes late or...
Can't imagine him being on this show.
Whenever, right. So I was telling him, I'm like, you know what? The next time you're late, right? What are you doing?
Next time you're late.
Give me my pen. My pen. Well, technically it's Sarah's, but she doesn't watch the show. So yeah.
So next time your cousin's late?
Next time, I told him next time he's late, right, I was just going to charge him money every time he's late. And then I'm like, well, fuck, I'll just never see him again.
Because he won't come give you the money?
Because he won't come give me the money. Right, and I was like, you know what, maybe he likes me. So I was like, I told him, it's like, every time you're late, I'm going to hurt myself.
Oh.
just so you show up.
That guy, that is bad stuff. Hi. What's up, guy on YouTube?
That is bad stuff. Cocaine's not as bad as a bunch of other stuff, but it's still not good.
I think that's his name. That guy that is bad at stuff.
His name's that guy?
Yeah, his name's that guy that is bad at stuff. Hi.
All right,
What's up?
So next news line, friend.
Our next news is Tiger King's Carol Baskin comes out as bisexual. I could just easily have a wife as a husband.
I mean, good for you for coming out. I don't... Like, it's not something that's like...
Carol Baskin.
Right. It's still not as bad as what her ex-husband's family did to her.
What they do?
So her ex-husband's family, she was recently on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
She was voted off immediately, but she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Immediately.
And so right after her Dancing with the Stars debut...
Okay.
Her ex-husband's family took and played a commercial spot for any information on his disappearance, or if she'd done it, or...
It makes me want to start a segment going, how petty can you be?
Right.
You're going to find petty things.
Well, I mean,
that is petty.
They never know what happened to the guy. It's not really
smart.
It's not. It's. I don't know if it was exactly petty or like just being smarter than the average bear.
During her debut, they bought every commercial spot. Oh, he says he's bad at everything.
But
every commercial spot for information on their son.
No, their dad.
Oh, it's their dad? Oh.
Well, yeah, because most of them are the daughters.
It was like stepdaughters of hers, or
of hers, I would assume.
I don't know. Tiger King was so last year.
It was the beginning of COVID, not the end.
Right, it was so last year.
So,
our next news headline: Disney to overhaul its entertainment business, but focusing on streaming. So I think they're also thinking about Black Widow going to streaming, like they did with Mulan.
Well, and oh, I'm not on the camera.
You are. I just have it blocked with the...
Oh, you just have my face blocked, you know?
No, see the chat.
Yeah, I'm on camera. But, no, so they got WandaVision coming.
Yeah. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, nobody cares about that. WandaVision's what's going to be...
Because it's going to tie into the Doctor Strange and Spider-Man movies.
Right. And we had a couple weeks ago, one of the news lines, they fired 2,800 entertainers, like your costume entertainers and your greeters and stuff like that. So Disney is bare bones.
Yeah.
Like they're
yeah, but Disney's like Nintendo.
Empty.
I read somewhere once Nintendo can close down for 94 years and still pay its employees full salaries and vacations.
Right. Well, it doesn't mean they want to.
Anything.
Like,
but that Disney money.
I'm just saying, it's the thing is if they're not making money, they're not going to pay people, so they can.
I know people don't understand.
Still pay their CEO.
Even if the virus was cured tomorrow, it was available for everyone in the world. Well, A, it would take a while for everyone to get it, but B, it's still want to go back to normal that quick.
No.
You know, we face something in our generation that no one's really faced since like smallpox.
Right.
So everyone's like, oh.
I think it was the 60s or 50s. It was TVs were still black and white, so it's got to be.
And again, it was a different time, so whatever the newspaper told you, you couldn't find out what's going on in Europe and stuff like that. And
right.
whatever the news told you. They have the internet. And we're like, that's fake.
Right. Now you've got your Googles and your searches.
Yeah.
And
anyone can be a news reporter.
Right. You can find any information you want to find online, whether it's real or true.
Yeah.
Or,
not like back then.
See, that's like when I look for information online, right? You know what I do?
What do you do?
I go to a bunch of different sites.
To see if it's still...
Right. To see if it's consistent. And then I take the consistent crap out. And I'm like, well, that must be closest to the truth.
They're all reporting the same thing.
Right.
But they send out a media package.
Right. Well, but then, like you said, you check your different sources, your different, different reporters.
Sent to all the media.
If you're really doing some hardcore research, you go to your different science groups.
The sources.
Your Harvards, your CERN, stuff like that. Places where they really do research.
I know. The other day about time travel was proved to be possible, and I was like, what are your sources?
Right.
Because several scientific communities say it's not. Several other ones say it's true based on math. But again, it's just in theory, which you can't prove.
Right.
Which anyone can take theoretical physics because it's theoretical.
Or you know how I always felt about time travel. I always felt like once I figured out the numbers, I just poof out of existence.
Technically, it would because like a Bill and Ted version.
Right, except for without the time machine.
Because we're able to time travel, I'm going to leave my keys here 2 days from now. So just because you thought it could happen because time travel is possible.
Right. Just remembering to go do it later.
Yes, basically affecting passing cause.
Right. All right. Next news line. Now that we've briefly talked about time travel.
Time travel. We could do that all day. Florida man accused of stealing a bulldozer to dig up Biden signs. And it was on an ex-mayor's property. Oh no, DJ lost his shit. Give us a minute. DJ is blown away.
So I saw something the other day.
Was it a bulldozer?
No. It was an electrified Trump sign. Right? Somebody had taken and wrapped wire around it and plugged it in. And then it showed some guy running in full speed to grab this sign. Fucking grabs onto it. Next thing you know, he's just, fucking shaking like...
Seized up?
Yeah, just seized up, grabbed it, and fell on the ground. And I'm like, that is the smartest shit I've ever seen. Like,
the guy sued the guy and won from Liar Liar.
Probably.
But he came onto my property and touched my thing.
Right.
If I have to pay him?
If he wouldn't have touched it, he wouldn't have got electric. Well, it's like, have you ever seen those people who, so they hook a battery up to a bike.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then when the person tries to steal the bike, they sit on the bike, get electrocuted. My favorite is the one where they're attached to a rope and let them ride down the hill a little bit.
Good 20, 30 feet. And
get up plenty speed. And then it just pulls the bike right out from under them.
They always look mad, too. The guy comes up and goes, that's my bike. And he's like, why the fuck would you do that? Why'd you touch my bike?
Here's the thing, right? And it's like me and one of my buddies were talking about this the other day, and he's a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Right? So the thing is, is whether you support Trump, whether you support Biden, you have your right to believe what you believe.
Thank God for America, right?
Now, I do have the right to speak with you on this and try to change your mind, but I can't
force your opinion.
But I cannot force your opinion. I can't, to go steal sign, even if the going to steal Trump signs. It's still wrong. You're still that's
you're
still a thief.
You're taking your opinion way too far.
Right. Have your opinion. I believe in having your opinion. I believe in having a conversation with somebody on the other side.
Open-minded.
Oh, right. And then still being able to leave the conversation as equals and friends. Right? Like, I'm not trying to belittle you. You're not trying to belittle me. Okay? I don't prove a point. And you're like, well, you're stupid. Well, that's counterproductive.
That's how we debate.
Right.
You're dumb.
Right.
No, I saw that same thing. A guy was preaching about something. He's like, I'm not going to try to convince you to be a Democrat. I just want you to be educated. Voter. Right. And not just because I'm voting for Biden because Trump sucks. Like, okay, but what has he done in the last 47 years?
Right.
I don't know. He's not Trump. Like, that's I want you to be educated.
All I'm saying is do your research either way.
Be educated.
Okay. Do your research, check your facts. It's like Trevor Noah was saying. He's like, we're doing these debates, but no one's sitting here checking anybody's facts going.
Where's that fact checker?
Right. Is going, sorry, Mr. President. Sorry, Mr. Vice President. Both of you are blowing steam up everyone's ass.
Right? Even Mr. Beast had a track checker.
Right. You know, and it's not like you ain't got the money to have a team of motherfuckers sitting there checking.
Google that shit.
Right? You know.
Because what they're saying is public knowledge.
Right.
What they're saying is what I put into order, that means that it went into public knowledge.
Right.
Like I saw one with Obama versus McCain one year, and he was like, look it up. I signed this executive order. It's public knowledge.
Please read through it.
Yes, please read through it before you come at me.
You know, and I mean that's what people should be doing.
So you can just Google it.
Right. It's not like
you don't need like someone going through all the documents, going when did he sign this executive order?
Right. Where's the time and date stamp?
Or like the time that Trump pulled out the bill for the stimulus thing, it was just handwritten notes, and he's like, "They want me to sign this."
So is that it?
No, our last viral news.
He stole the bulldozer though, like a whole bulldozer.
And it was
he needed
ex-mayor's property.
Oh, so he just went after like 1 yard.
In the town,
he never.
bulldozed it. He was making sure you can't put no more signs.
I mean, you just pulled up the ground a little bit. I can still put signs, flags.
He's in that water main.
Like I don't. Why would you steal a bulldozer? Like, so you so
he's an activist.
I mean, you were gonna steal signs anyways. So obviously, the theft part isn't what actually bothers you.
The part is that you need. Yeah, the part is the person with the signs. Not only is it.
It's JP.
But yeah, no, it's you're taking it too far, attacking a person. Not only are you mad because they have the freaking Biden signs, but because that's who they are.
Right.
You're like, oh, not only does he have Biden signs, but I don't like him.
Like, you know, and I mean, okay, I understand, right? Being so frustrated about what's going on in the world today, and people need someone to blame also.
Hence why there is a president. He's just someone to blame.
Right.
I mean, Congress controls everything, guys. You know, I looked up this voting count. Like, does your vote count? You ever hear that slogan?
Mm-hmm.
Your vote. You know what voting is, right? It's like American Idol. You basically, each state tells tells Electoral College what each state voted for, like a suggestion.
Right.
Because last year, like 4 years ago, Hillary won the popular vote, but the Electoral College picked Trump.
Well, it's like remember we were watching TV last night, and it goes, people can't see who you voted for, but they can see if you voted, so don't forget to vote.
Yeah, you go online, and they can see that you voted. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but it's like, bitch, don't threaten me. I was like, don't you ever... I can't stand that. You know I can't stand being threatened. It's like, if you threaten me, you better be ready to throw down.
So, yeah, DJ, your vote? Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah, go ahead and check, because I don't give a fuck. I'll tell
your fucking business if I voted.
I'll tell a motherfucker, be like, no, I don't like being threatened.
You know, they have that up there. Like, it's offensive to ask someone's religion or political thing. But again, every time I hear about the political party, it is borderline prejudiced.
Right.
Because blue versus red, and then you get the independent and this and that. They're saying people as a party of a group of people, which would be prejudice. Like the Democratic Party is a piece of shit. So anyone that's a Democrat is a piece of shit.
Right, but that's
apparently, but that's still prejudiced.
Right. It's
you're blaming someone based on a group.
It's far from the truth. You know, each side's got good apples, bad apples. You know, everybody's different. Everybody's their own person.
But the way they speak about it, the far left, all the right people. And it's like, what? The whole nation is built on anti-racism prejudice, but our whole voting thing is prejudice.
Well, it's like I was telling my friend.
Same thing with the Biden thing. Oh, you like Biden? And tear up your fucking yard.
Right. Well, it's like I was telling my friend, and again, he likes Trump, which is totally fine.
Yeah, that's your
right. It's your vote, your opinion.
Still stick by that debate was embarrassing to be American.
Right. And it's like, no matter who you vote for, I'm still your friend at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's your choice, bro.
Okay. The thing is until we just go ahead and say, you know what, you're not Democrat, you're not Republican,
you're a person,
you're an American citizen
with an opinion.
Okay, with an opinion, which we want to hear your opinion and feedback.
There we go.
But you need to vote on people based on their policies and things like that, not so much as
their party.
Right. Oh, I'm Democrat.
I'm
they're
loyal
Democrat.
To the end. Wait, what? Again, it involves prejudice, though. Like, if we have open-minded, but you go to a person like, oh, you're Democrat, Republican, Democrat. Oh, the moment you change the way you thought about that person because based on a group that they like, makes you prejudiced.
Right.
Like the whole like, oh, you're a cop? I hate cops. Like you just changed your whole opinion about a person based on their occupation, you know.
Right.
It's not occupation. Like, oh, yeah. It's not like, which is in the same category as, oh, you murder people.
Or you're a murderer.
I don't like serial killers. That's okay.
Well, it's like, yeah. Like,
because it's based on moral things.
Like, I'm sorry, yeah.
But being a Republican or Democrat is not based on morality. It's based on policies and, which again, they're all fighting for the same cause.
Right.
Like, I watched those debates when they have to pick the presidential candidate before, if there's not one in office. They all have to debate the same topic on the same party to get the freaking going. You're our leader.
The same shit over and over.
But that's enough of politics. We don't talk about
Right, we don't talk about politics. I just thought it was crazy they stole the bulldozer and it came all I don't see why you need a bulldozer. You could have just grabbed some signs and ran.
I'm telling you, it's the stuff that happened with
all right, what's our last news? And then we need to move on to wife's cooking and get into our actual topic for today.
Fast and the Furious ending after the next 3 movies.
Next 3?
We still got 3
Jesus
more.
Who needs 3 more Fast and the Furious movies?
Stop making them.
Are they all just going to be with The Rock? Like,
it's all about going fast.
It's all about going fast, living long, and driving on ice with tanks.
Driving on ice with tanks. And that long ass runway.
Right. I don't even know who can.
Don't get me wrong, like this, I like some of the movies and everything like that, but they tried to make a series from stealing cars about stereos until these people are trained, combated freaking government assets.
You do it enough, like
I know, but the timeline that they gave you though, like in a 4-year process of stealing stuff and Tom like running from the cops to like. Hello, Hobbs.
I'm just saying, it's like...
You're the best crew.
It's like us with Apex. We went from where we'd go for weeks without winning. And now if we go one day and don't win at least once that day, we're pissed.
Okay, they fought Owen Shaw's brother, who was a secret agent for the British thing.
British intelligence,
when they sent 17 trained officers in there to take him out, he killed them all.
Whooped their ass, yeah.
And then you have 5 years experience, Dom. Takes him down.
Just beats up everybody.
Because it's all about family.
Well, he didn't beat up The Rock. He tried to beat up The Rock. That didn't work out so well for him.
Your dad got hit really hard in the head, so he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right.
My daddy said he beat you up. Your dad hit his head really hard.
All right, so what did we try for the wife's cooking last night?
Actually, I suggested it like 2 weeks ago. It's called cheesy ravioli lasagna.
See, I'm not a big fan of ravioli or lasagna.
Because of the sauce. Right,
the sauce tends to hurt my teeth. Now I ate it.
Yeah?
Of course, and it was, in fact, delicious.
Delicious. I saw those still leftovers, and I was like, I'm going to have this for lunch.
I was a little disappointed because I was told that there would be meat.
There was meat?
In the raviolis.
Oh, they're like stuffed?
Yeah, but there was not.
Maybe she was just tired.
No, I just think it's the ones Walmart gave us because again, she ordered.
Walmart be fucking up.
Walmart, yeah, Walmart. You need to get your shit together, because you know they lost half of Sonia's order one time.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, like half the order they lost, and then the delivery guy took it to the next house over. It was funny.
Wow. But I give it a thumbs up.
Well, it wasn't so much funny, right? Because it wasn't happening to me, so it was funny. To them, it was.
Let me clarify that, guys.
Let me clarify that, right?
It's funny to DJ because it doesn't happen to DJ.
Make sure. No, we just get other shit. They send us rotten meat and stuff like that instead of,
Sonia's just another headline. Wow. No, but like it was good. And like your wife every week goes dinner suggestions, and I feel nervous because for years we don't have dinner suggestions. So I'm like,
oh, what do you mean back living with dad and stuff like that?
Like even like whatever my mom cooked, that's what we had.
Like when we didn't even have dinner. And
Brian would be like, oh, you want some chicken and rice? And we just make chicken and rice or some tuna casserole. But she likes to go find the different recipes of the internet and try things new, which is fine. So I'm like, oh god, she asked again. So I go like on
she asks every week.
Pinecrest or whatever.
They just look something up.
I just go easy recipes, and I go, That looks good. Click.
So here's the other thing, right? When you pick a recipe,
well, yeah, now I gotta think
really
if there's stuff in it that you can't eat.
Or the meat content, right? I really like meat. All right, on Monday morning, Monday night, if there's not enough meat in the dinner, I'm kind of pissy because I'm like, well, I want more meat. Right?
You don't like tuna casserole?
No, because I don't like people ruining my goddamn tuna.
You don't even put mayonnaise in it either.
That's why it's ruined. All you put in tuna is mayo and tuna. Salad? No, you don't eat tuna salad. It's gross.
But there's so much you can do with tuna.
Gross. Tuna, bread, mayo.
So in the future, make sure there's enough meat for you or garlic bread.
Right. One of the two.
Carbs and protein.
Yep, carbs and protein.
You need the carbs and protein.
I need it. But as usual, wife, thumbs up. You know, she's got a bunch of episodes to catch up on.
I talked to her last night. I was like, you don't even watch our episodes anymore. And she's like, you guys don't put them on.
You're right. We have to.
I like it when it comes across my newsfeed.
We gotta sit her down and make her watch it.
The last one she watches the 50th anniversary, so she's like 9 weeks behind. Oh no, she was in that one. She was actually watching live in that one episode.
Right. Well, she does sometimes. So moving on to today's topic. And as usual, I come up with the topic because I was having creative juices flowing. So what do we want to talk? Did we want to talk about villains in general?
I put in the description villains and what shapes them.
Well, I mean, what shapes them is normally some tragedy, and then they're just like, "Oh, I'm a villain. I'm gonna do all the wrong things."
Kind of villains, like for instance, if you watch Watchmen, the smartest guy in the world was supposed to be the villain, but the way he did it was to stop nuclear terrorism. Rorschach says it doesn't matter. The truth is this. The other guy. But Dr. Manhattan's like, no, it makes sense. It's logical, and he killed Rorschach.
You know,
So who's really the villain?
Before we get too far into this, I still have to bring up.
Don't you do it?
Okay, Joe Pesci from Home Alone is not a villain.
So Macaulay Culkin was the villain.
He's not. No. There was just a bunch of actors in a funny movie. There was no
Macaulay Culkin's character. We don't know what his dad did for a living
why
in the first place.
Was ruthless.
He was a sociopath.
Okay, he
and apparently a brilliant engineer.
People are like, "Oh, Joe Pesci's the bad guy because he was a thief." It's like, well, yeah, he was a thief, but he wasn't. He didn't bludgeon the kid to death. The kid bludgeoned him to death. Well, I would try to too after you dropped a toolbox on my balls. Like I would not be.
Did he take the same kind of pills you take in Injustice? Because a lot of things that kid did to him should have killed Joe Pesci.
Oh yeah, there was a show, right? I think it's
Matt Pat kind of thing,
right? And they were testing out all the things that this kid did.
It would have killed them,
right?
Electrocution.
They're like they should have been dead long a time ago, right?
That kid should have got charged with murder,
getting hit in the head with the paint cans.
He didn't call the fucking cops.
He planned it all out.
He planned sociopath.
But remember, apparently the phone lines were down. That's why he couldn't order a pizza, but he could call the police.
He did order pizza.
Yeah, I was, confused the whole way through the movie.
That kid was a sociopath.
Like they just did things to move the plot along so they could beat the hell out of Joe Pesci.
The victims found him instead of him hunting them.
That was Home Alone 2 was the last Joe Pesci getting his ass whooped movie because he couldn't keep doing it.
Didn't call the cops. No. This time's plan was to try to catch them robbing the toy store though. So this time he fell victim on purpose. Because he was trying to save the toy store.
This time he broke and entered himself.
On purpose.
On purpose, so he could get in.
Yeah.
To catch the people who were about to rob the toy store. Instead of calling the police and meeting them at the front door and be like, hey, they're coming to rob the toy store right now.
How often do you get your victims to come back? Like, as a sociopath serial killer, right?
He
didn't miss his opportunity. He's like, what are the odds in New York that I can do this again to the same people?
You remember Alex? Oh, for the YouTube Alex?
Yeah.
Revenge.
All right, so the villains you want to talk about.
Well, again, Joe Pesci's not a villain.
He's a villain in that story.
Thanos was a good villain, and I thought the premise of him was
the hero.
No, you're Barneying out again.
In Endgame, he was definitely the villain because he didn't have the experience. And he rushed it.
He was always the villain.
Yeah.
Right? Because That's like so. So are you trying to say Dexter was the good guy?
Yeah.
Because he was just killing other murder people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm confused.
Again,
I feel like due process is a thing.
Well, technically, that's a human thing. Not Thanos is not human, so.
Yeah, but you just
and he was godlike.
No, you can't he's just from another planet. He was from another planet, friend. He wasn't a god.
He needs to follow the Star Trek guidelines that you have to abide by their culture and stuff.
I'm just saying, like, you can't just drop in and be like...
Remember Thanos' cause. He did go to his government. They didn't believe him. His world shattered. So his version was trying to save the universe. So again, in his eyes, he was the hero.
You know, that's
but that goes back to you doing what you say, doing bad things for good reasons.
That's just like thinking about, like, so, you know, we've posted on the gaming channel today. We were supposed to have Bo on, but he wasn't able to make it again. You know, some video game villains are, like, twisted too, right? Like, I know you never got to play Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
You have?
Back in the day.
Well,
I didn't follow the storyline.
The villain of that was the damn...
creators.
No, he was, I was going to say Tiger King, but he wasn't. He was a leopard. But the whole premise of the story, right, was his fucking table that he set his milk on was wobbly and missing a leg, and they thought Conker would be perfect to go in there to hold the table up.
Makes sense.
No, it's you're being a dick to be a dick, right? You're like, I'm a king, I can do what I want.
When they broke Dom out of jail, who was in Fast and the Furious, who was the bad guys?
I mean, they were always the bad guys.
So they are the villains of the story,
right?
But they in the movies they make them out to be the heroes.
in a story like that,
see again, based on the story.
In a story like that, so you've got you're like it's like Leverage. You've got your run of the mill bad guys who are like
non-violent crime. Well,
right?
You're the hitter.
unless you're Elliot, and then you've got somebody who's way worse, right? Like it's like
the worst.
It's like It's like, oh, you're not so bad, so we're gonna.
Hey Lex Luthor, you're a piece of shit. Darkseid's coming. You want to work together to save the Earth? Because then you can.
Well, it's like Venom.
There is no Earth.
You remember Venom?
Yeah, Venom.
Like Venom in no universe was ever good except for later on in his life when he returned to...
He got a morale, yeah.
Right. Well, after being with Brock so long, he ended up becoming good.
Yes.
And then going back to his planet to solve that issue.
Yeah. Because symbiotes.
Right, weren't inherently good or whatever. That's neither here nor there.
He was an outcast.
In the first actual Venom movie that we've ever had,
live action, yes,
right,
better than Spider-Man 3.
It was like, well, yeah, Venom's chewing fucking people's head off, but they're not really good guys, like
still gotta feed them,
right,
So it's like the Dexter thing.
Pretty much, that's. Dexter probably shouldn't be murdering people. Like, that's not okay. But at least he's not murdering innocents.
Okay, so the villain, once the person creates the villain, like I guess you saw one of the Batmans that he threw Joker into the thing.
Right.
Or Batman ruined Joker's life from the third party aspect of it, like behind the scenes. Or if you watch Superman, what is it? Man of Steel. They were blaming Superman, or Batman was blaming Superman for what happened in Gotham,
right,
when they were fighting Zod. You get what I'm saying? Like, so
because it's like the Goku thing. It's like, all right, he's got too much power.
Yeah. So once if like the superhero is the reason why they made the villain,
right,
without them knowing, or like in Boys, the superheroes all the villains,
right,
because they have power. In Batman's version, power corrupts.
Right, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
So again, like with Smallville, if Clark just told Lex his secret,
it might have been different.
Went a different way. Like you said in those previous episodes of alternate realities of that show, even when Clark was raised by the Luthors, he became Ultraman, which was evil. So the father made Lex evil, and Clark was supposed to be the light to guide him.
Well, it's like, realistically, the villains are built a lot like the superheroes are. Right, so like Peter Parker lost his uncle.
You go one way or another.
Right, and he became a good guy.
Responsibility.
Right, other people lost their family members
and wanted people to pay.
To correct this, they wanted the people who were responsible for losing the.
But it goes back to Thanos.
And then just did whoever got in their way, they took out too.
That's it. Here's the line between hero and villain. both have the same backstory as you saw in Flash. With what's his name? Zimmerman? Zoomed.
Yeah.
Hunter
Zimmerman. Yeah.
There's a line. The villains do more than the hero. Meaning, in the aspect is that they're going to do whatever it takes. The hero has restrictions. Batman doesn't kill. And because Batman doesn't kill, Joker killed Jason Todd.
Right, because Batman would do
when
nothing
Jason Todd came back, he's like, you didn't even avenge me. You going to keep putting him in fucking jail so he can break out? He owns Gotham. So you get what I'm saying? But the villain goes one step further to achieve his goal than what the hero does. Yeah, she could do due process and all that, and that's what the hero is supposed to do, the right thing. But because the bad guy does what it takes, and it's not always the good thing, but he gets the job done. Hence what you watched in Watchmen, why Jason Todd was mad at Batman. So that's the only difference between a villain and a hero.
I mean, a lot of different things.
And then the villain becomes good, as you saw in Tommy Oliver, and Power Rangers.
Well, it's
Vegeta.
It's like
Dragon Ball Z.
It's like that one dude said. What is it? You either die a hero or live
long enough to be seen as a villain,
to become a villain,
or be Sherlock Holmes,
or be Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, that meme was funny as hell.
The Crisis, when Batwoman went to that Earth when Bruce Wayne was still alive, and he's all like he started killing his enemies.
Oh yeah,
remember he's like, no, you can't be naive. And she was trying to tell.
Right.
So hope is what makes the hero, why damnation makes the villain. Like, there's no hope. Yeah. So, but again, villains think logical as heroes think emotional. In the beginning of any plot, the villain beats the hero because they're thinking logically with their plan.
Right.
At the end, you see the hero think logically, tricks the villain into becoming emotionally, and beats the villain. So the hero uses the villain's logic to beat him. Without killing people, of course. Unless you're Superman, you snap Zod's neck.
Right, yeah, that became a thing.
Or you're like, no, Batman, you can't do that. And I mean, you just flew through a fucking building and killed that guy.
I was so mad at that one instance right there. Like,
but you saw his pain. I mean, Superman's pain. He didn't want to do it. But he had no choice. Zod was going to do whatever it took to prove his point.
He's going to kill a bunch of kids and women and children.
But you saw in Superman's face that he didn't want to do it. And he did it.
They rid it so it was justified for him.
Yes. But it doesn't justify because your girlfriend's in danger to throw that guy through a building.
No.
She goes like this and lets go of the guy. Like, she was premeditated too. She let go of him. They're like, Batman, you can't do that. And Batman, like, killed half the people with a fucking... He ran them over through that fucking truck. Like...
Even in the Batman games, my favorite one was the last one with the car.
Yeah, you fucking ran people over.
No, so what I'd do is I'd stand in a group of people, let them start kicking the shit out of me, and then I'd call the tank in and I'd run them over as I jumped into
They're
it.
stunned.
No, they were dead.
No, it says they're stunned.
No, you get hit by a tire that size and you're dead. You're not stunned.
So again, a villain is just a perception, or was it when they cross the line? Does the ends justify the means?
No.
Again, like Watchmen, when he blamed Dr. Manhattan so they would stop nuclear crisis.
Speaking of the ends justify the means, you know my favorite episode of Leverage is the miracle job.
I don't remember that one.
That's the one with the church and Father Paul.
Oh yeah, and they faked the
miracle, and at the end, right, Father Paul's like, well, I'll just count my blessings and take my miracle. And he goes, there was no miracle. He's like, Nate, 5 thieves showed up and saved my church.
If that's not a miracle,
then I don't know what is. And like I said, it was perfect ending for that show.
Yeah, it's beautifully written.
Yeah. So
would you be a villain or a hero?
On recap, I just stay the fuck home. That's too much noise for me.
You'd be like Hancock.
Yeah.
Like 8 trailers put together.
I got superpowers, but I don't need to do shit with them. I'm just gonna stay over here. You know, I'd be that dude, greatest super powered person.
But again, the villain and the hero is based on the story, I guess. In Smallville, Lex told Superman that the greatest hero is portrayed by the greatest hero.
What?
Lex said, Lex was talking to Clark, and he said, a villain is only as great as his hero.
I guess that's true. But it doesn't. I don't. Well, I'm not sure.
Knowing everyone's scared of Batman, though.
You could still
like
be.
Lex Luthor's like, we'll go toe to toe with Superman. Let's do this. Like, Batman's here? No, I'm good, bro.
I turned myself in.
I'm good. Like, was it old man Batman on the roof?
Oh yeah, I can't believe I was ever that timid. Hanging the motherfucker off.
I can't hold him back much longer. Please tell him he wants to
know. My grip's slipping. I'm getting old.
Like, oh shit.
Right? Tell us. When I was 6, I used to piss the bed. Relative information.
Revenge. But in Justice, you saw when the heroes went bad.
Yeah, right. The Justice Lords. Except for Batman. Batman never. Never Batman.
Because Batman's always... But Batman's like neutral, if you think about it. He knows at any point something bad can happen or something good can happen.
I don't know. It'd knock your ass out. Batman, don't worry about it.
Remember when he was with the Ace of Spades lady? He sat with her until she died?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Knowing that she could potentially blow everything up.
Yeah. He sat with her and then held her out, heard her out and hold her hand until she died.
I think that's the only reason she didn't blow everything up when she died. She pulled it all back in.
Well, that's villains.
But yeah, that's villains.
What are some of the worst villains out there, though? Like, what about Kingdom Hearts?
It was Thanos. Kingdom Hearts. It was always that one motherfucker, bro. I can't remember his name now, but it was always him.
But so we got Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland.
No, so you have the Disney villains, which were in their own lands, right? But you always had the guy in the back pulling all the strings.
Once upon a time, always made the villains the good ones, and it was the heroes that told the story that were the bad ones.
Not always.
Like Ursula got tricked by
Ariel,
yeah, and stuff like that. The Queen would actually just want a happy ending.
Some of it was reversed, yeah. Some of it was
became good. He was
Peter evil. Yeah, I mean, originally Peter Pan they were writing it more towards the original stories, though, not towards the Disney crap. That's what I'm saying now. Like originally, Peter Pan was stealing little children.
Yeah, he was
to keep himself to keep himself young. So it's kind of like.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, right. No, spoiler alert on your childhood.
Captain Hook was the bad guy.
Right.
Knowing Peter Pan killed his brother.
So it was.
So let's name some of the worst villains. So in Kingdom Hearts, all the Disneys had their own villains, but who was the main protagonist?
So the
antagonist.
I really can't remember his name now. They said it so many damn times, but
I know the worst villain, the Hand from Smash Bros.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of people's worst villain. that was yeah. If we're talking about gaming, like there was a lot of bad gaming.
Some of the storylines are just great. Some are just horrible. So let's see. We got Doc Ock from Spider-Man.
Doc Ock, yeah.
We got Sandman, who's just misunderstood.
Right at the last video.
Kingpin from Daredevil.
Well, and Kingpin from Spider-Man, too.
And Spider-Man. They share the same ones.
Well, they shared the same one, but
Magneto from X-Men, knowing he was best friends with Charles Xavier.
See, like a lot of your smaller heroes were using a lot of your bigger heroes' villains.
That's because they were to show up an appearance in a comic book.
Right.
That was based, like the Wolverine showed up in Hulk.
Right.
So then you have all the different villains. This person showed up in Daredevil. Daredevil showed up in Spider-Man for Kingpin or something.
Right.
So
that's all the time my back has.
So DC would be Darkseid.
Right.
Greatest villain would be better than Lex Luthor.
If you were going by genre, so DC would be Darkseid, Marvel would be Thanos.
Or
Galactus. Thanos.
Galactus eats planets.
Galactus got beat by just Silver Surfer.
Okay, good. And that gave him his powers.
Right. Like how'd you fuck that one up?
Spider-Man, would it be Venom or?
So Spider-Man
or Green Goblin.
Yeah, it'd probably be Green Goblin.
Stacy. That actually happened in the comics.
See, Spider-Man actually had a lot, right? He had the Sinister Six.
Oh yeah, they all teamed up against him.
Right.
I heard they're gonna try to do that for the last movie.
I think Batman had a Sinister Six type thing.
They had an Injustice League.
Well, yeah, but I think there was
but his greatest villain,
League of Villains,
Joker.
Right.
No, he fought Darkseid.
Kicked that bitch right in the face, yeah.
He's like, no humans ever moved me. I'm impressed.
Right.
And he got away from his death threat.
Yeah, right.
And he looked at Lex. Can you do that?
Yeah, Lex just ran. He's like, nope, I can't. No, sirree.
Your mind's your greatest villain.
Yeah.
But that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and YouTube and catch us every Tuesday morning between the hours of 9 and 11. Don't forget to catch us over on our other set of videos, which is our talk show gaming, where Josh plays Apex a lot. And
usually we try to do fighting games.
Every once in a while we'll do fighting games so I can get my butt kicked for 30 minutes after Josh figures out what the moves are.
And Vlog Entertainment posted a new vlog.
Oh, yep. And Vlog Entertainment posted a new vlog.
For once.
Don't forget our charities today, which is Brent and his breast cancer awareness. No, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Of course, it is the last week for us to promote it because we only do on Tuesdays.
Only Tuesdays.
Only Tuesdays. But you can remember breast cancer awareness all year round. And our weekly charity was the Crisis Text Line.
Yes.
You know, and you can text in and get crisis counseling or consulting. I like consulting better. I like getting consulting. Too much leverage for you. Right, too much leverage. So that's all the time we have for today.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yep. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and share.